On September 13th, 2022, Zelda fans the world over were finally given another little sneak peek into the heavily anticipated sequel to Breath of the Wild. But not only that, we also got the title and the release date, Tears of the Kingdom, coming to our Switches May 12th, 2023. And as is seemingly common for this particular Zelda game, we were left with more questions than answers. As such, here are my top 3 questions that I have about the most recent look into The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice and welcome to a Zelda discussion video partially inspired by a comment from viewer Solo Jonah. Just FYI, I still haven't watched any of the theory or analysis videos in my Watch Later playlist on YouTube, but I do hope to get to them very soon. When we were awaiting the release of Breath of the Wild, Nintendo was pretty open and forward about showing us what this new Hyrule was going to be like, and how we would participate in it. This, however, has not been the case for its sequel. Some eerie music and beats, touches of gameplay that aren't too revealing, if at all, and several upon several cryptic images, scenes, and clips to get our imaginations going. Trailers that, upon first viewing, seem to provide so much, but not long after do we realize we don't know anything about this game. Funny thing, I'm kind of okay with that. But like I said, this leaves us with bundles of questions. For some that might be quite frustrating, however for me, that just gets me even more hyped up for this game. I did a video like this previously on one of the other trailers, but here are my top 3, since they come with little mini theory speculations, hypothesis questions about the recent Tears of the Kingdom trailer. Number 1. What are the Tears of the Kingdom? Is it literal or metaphorical? Is it those chunks of land either falling from or into the sky, possibly revealing dungeons? Is it related to that random reverse drop of water from the second trailer? What about these little symbols that appear in the murals, particularly the 7 around this frightening deity-looking creature? Are they something we collect and harness in this little collection of tubes we see on Link's person? Similar to what we've done in both Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, collecting Tears of Light and Dragon Tears respectively. Is it about the famous but mysterious Sheikah tribe, whose own mark features a single teardrop coming forth from an eye? Does it have to do with something dark in the royal family's past? Or is it all of the above? Truth be told, because any one of these could be an option, I wouldn't be surprised if most of them are involved. I would actually propose that Tears refers to major story elements, most likely the royal family, either something that happened to them or something they did, in tangent with their appointed guardians, the Sheikah. And also in a symbolic way, the chunks of land in the sky. Whether they are falling from the sky like giant destructive raindrops, or they were torn asunder from the depths of Hyrule, either could be symbolic tears. Whatever the case may be, so far, I think this is my favorite name for a Zelda game yet. Number 2. What involvement do the Zonai and Sheikah have in this game? It's no secret that most have pondered and theorized that the Zonai have a heavy presence in these sequel trailers, based on the architecture and seemingly ancient themes, which the Zonai themselves are ancient. Likewise, in Breath of the Wild, we had the largest Sheikah presence in a Zelda game to date. Are the two related? Could the Zonai just be ancient Sheikah? Either way, what is their role in this game? I certainly get the impression that these two mystical, enigmatic tribes will leave a large footprint on the story we are going to get this time around, though I do not have a specific hypothesis as to how. And while I am heavily leaning toward the idea that the Sheikah did in fact evolve from the Zonai, if you will, even if that's not the case, these two groups will probably still be the driving force of the adventure. The architecture, murals, and dragons surely hinting to the Zonai. The mural's eyes looking like the Sheikah symbol, and the coloring of the spirit hand and swirls throughout resembling the glowing color of their technology, when they're not malice infested, of course. Moreover, with the Sheikah being the protectors of the royal family, I have to wonder if kingdom refers to more than just Hyrule Kingdom as a whole, but specifically the royal family, hence their protectors as well. It's not often Zelda creators elaborate on things that were left extremely enigmatic in previous games. So the thought of the Zonai tribe influencing the bulk of the sequel, and possibly the somehow still curious, though they've appeared in several games, Sheikah tribe as well, it's quite intriguing and exciting. Number 3. How dark is this game going to be? While I don't want to take quotes out of context, yes, it was said by one of the creators that this game might have a Majora's Mask kind of darkness to it. And based on what we've seen so far, the feeling they've left us with is one of a truly horrifying story that we will have to uncover. I am curious as to why Majora's Mask was mentioned over Twilight Princess, not that I have a preference. Honestly, it could be nothing and it just happened to be the game that was mentioned, but I'd like to think there was some specificity there. I've mentioned it before, but while both Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess are considered dark Zelda games, it's for quite different reasons and manifests in different ways. While Twilight Princess was gritty and more mature, Majora's Mask was existential dread. That's honestly the best way I can put it. And if the latter is indeed the direction the story and overall theming Tears of the Kingdom is going for, I'm equally excited and nervous. But not a bad nervous, more of a frightened anticipation, much like how those of us who enjoy roller coasters feel just before boarding one. We know it's going to be crazy, scary, our gut is going to be moving all over the place, but at the end, we really enjoyed that adrenaline rush. Though we may only be shooting guesses when it comes to lore, characters, specific story elements, etc., theorizing that the story is going to be a dark one is not a shot in the dark, if you'll pardon the pun. I know the Majora's Mask theming idea isn't really much of a hypothesis question, especially since it was mentioned in an interview. So I guess, based on the terrifying things we've seen in trailers thus far, I'm still asking, just how dark is it going to get in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom? So those were my top 3 questions and hypotheses born out of viewing the most recent trailer to the sequel for Breath of the Wild: Tears of the Kingdom. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and maybe joining the geekdom by subscribing. I also do streams on Thursdays and Fridays at 11 AM Eastern Standard Time, but if there has to be a change every now and again, I'll make sure to post it in the community tab. Huge shout out to all of my channel members and patrons, especially those in the Highland tier over on Patreon, Joking Batman, McToppler, and our newest patron, Scared of Whizbangs, also known as Geek Mom. Y'all's continued support of this fun thing I get to do is greatly appreciated. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.